What is going on, you guys? I'm hoping you're having a great Valentine's Day today. Mine's been a super long day, but pretty interesting, really fun. I actually uploaded this video already, completed the whole entire thing, put it on YouTube, and found out that my mouth, the voice, and my picture, it wasn't syncing up. So I was talking, but my mouth wasn't moving at the same time. So this is round two, take two. So I'm gonna go a little bit faster. So for you guys, it'll be a shorter video because I'm frankly tired, but I still think it's an important video. So before I hop in, I just want to say something exciting that happened to me today. If you guys aren't familiar with Steemit, definitely check it out. It's steemit.com. My name is neverXpected, so just like on my YouTube thing there, go ahead and follow me if you are on it. If you're not, check it out. But today I got invited by a friend of mine called Extraordinary Pilot. He runs his own like crypto talk right over here. He's on Steemit also. We ran it today, and he invited me to his studio. We had it was about a 2-hour session. The whole entire thing wasn't a total 2 hours of us talking. There was a break in between, but the total video was a 2-hour video. Just asked me a bunch of questions about crypto. Did a little three-way in with somebody else. This is a picture of us right here in the studio. It's pretty fun. So he's definitely trying to help out the crypto space, and I'm definitely supportive of anybody who is out there trying to promote cryptocurrency and like really trying to push things in the crypto space. So go ahead and follow him. Once again, it's Crypto Talk Live on Facebook, and then his Steemit name is Extraordinary Pilot. And go ahead and follow me too. Never expected. All right, so back to actually what the video is about. Usually I do coin reviews for the most part. I'm trying to come up with a couple of different ideas. I am about to maybe hop into some technical analysis, indicator type stuff, some of those videos, because I feel a little bit more comfortable at this stage. But I also want to create something what I call the Foundation Series, meaning that no matter what level, Foundation Series being like when you first start off in crypto, you're diving in. There's a lot of stuff coming at you, and I want to create that foundation to make sure that you can do everything and move forward properly. It's not just for novice people. You know, there are some people that have gone past the basics and still, don't know some of the things that maybe I've run into. So I'm handing all that out because I want everybody to know, some of the tools that I use. And one of the tools I like to use quite often is called Crypto Compare. It's a portfolio tracker. There are plenty of portfolio trackers out there like Blockfolio on your phone and other ones. This is the one I personally prefer, mostly because I like this graph. It's a visual of your whole entire portfolio in a nutshell. No matter what you plug in, it's going to give you an overall visual here. I'm going to go ahead and turn the lights off. I prefer it to be the dark mode. That's just my preference. So real quick, we're going to hop through it quickly just because I can keep the video short, and it's pretty straightforward. It tracks your coins just like other ones, but instead of you putting it on a spreadsheet when you have to manually do everything, it does everything for you, but you do have to plug it in. But there's a couple little quirks, so I want to make sure that you understand moving forward. So basic overview: acquisition cost, realized P&L, profit and loss here, holdings, and then 24-hour profit and loss. This is going to be your overall portfolio holdings here. So I actually, for the last video that I uploaded that turned out wrong, I created a portfolio from scratch. So you create an account, you go over to portfolio, and then you click on my portfolios. Now, we've already made a portfolio right now. It's called, I just put it, Never Expected YouTube Portfolio. If you want to make a brand new one, come over here, click portfolio, new port, whatever you want, anything, whatever you want to call it. Currency, I leave it in USD for now. You can put in anything you want. There's multiple options, but I usually leave mine in USD for the moment. And then description, again, this is internal, so you can call it whatever you want. So new video because last one I screwed up, which I did. If you want to make it private, which I typically leave mine private, you can. If you want to have like the world see it and I guess follow your portfolio and see what you're tracking, and then maybe you want to make a YouTube video on it and say, hey, here's my portfolio, and show people. Hey, that's a good idea, actually. Anyways, maybe I'll do that. So you can make it public, etc. So whatever you want, you hit create, and now all of a sudden you have a brand new portfolio here, or you can go back to the other one. We'll go ahead and just use this one for now, just because I've already have a couple things plugged in. So here are the current coins that I have in this portfolio that I just made up. If I want to add a brand new coin, I come down here, click brand new coin or plus coin down here, this button. It should do something. Let's try this one up here. There's two options. Okay, nothing. All right, let's refresh the page. This thing is slightly glitchy every once in a while. Oh, there you go. That's the new coin, but it's refreshing up here, so I'm going to go ahead and let it refresh. Every once in a while, it does get glitched out, where I'll see like this massive spike on the graph, and like one day it was like, oh, you made $1 million. I was like, yeah, I don't really think that happened. I'd be happy, but I don't think it happened. And sure enough, I refreshed the page and it fixed itself. Okay, second time's charm. There we go. Okay, so when you click that button, it brings this box up. So let's just say I bought Dragon Chain, just for the heck of it, because I like Dragon Chain. So you plug in the coin, you find it, and you put in the amount, so that's simple enough. So let's just say I bought, I don't know, 15 Dragon Chain, and this is the thing where it gets a little bit, you have to be careful about. So it's going to automatically, whatever you pick, I picked USD, it's going to keep it in that currency at the beginning. But most exchanges, they don't list it in USD, they typically list it in Satoshi, which is Bitcoin. So I like to see my stuff in USD overall, but when I input a brand new purchase, I put it in Bitcoin. So over here, typically Bitcoin, as you can see, I'm going to do this on purpose, you'll see an error here, and I'll show you why in a second. So it'll be like 0.00005 something, whatever of a Bitcoin. Well, then it gives you this warning here. Well, you can't put it with a decimal first. You have to put it as a number first. So put a 0 in, and then dot, then whatever you bought it at, and then you have to switch this to BTC, because that's what you bought it at. And every time you use an exchange, it'll have your BTC purchase price. Just copy that, plug it in here, put the amount in, pick the proper coin. I never changed the per unit, because that's what you're saying. You're saying you're buying it at this particular BTC price per unit, so it's this times this equals the total amount of what you spend, the date you bought it on, and if you want to put a description in here, like, well, whatever, it doesn't really matter what you put in there, it just because it's internal. If you want to go over to the advanced section, you can actually tell yourself where you're keeping the coin currently. So it's a nice tracking method. I use multiple exchanges, and every once in a while I'm like, man, where did I buy that coin? Like, where is it located now? So if you want to go ahead and here, you can say, like, for example, wallet. They have options. Exodus right here. I'll just pick that one. If you want to put in an address, you can. Or if you're like, no, I have an exchange, and I don't want to leave the exchange, you can just pick the exchange it's on, hit add to portfolio, and boom, it's in there. So as you can see on this one, I put a description like long-term hold. This one I put it in Jax. This one I put love this coin. Again, it's all internal. Nobody else sees this stuff unless you make the portfolio public. I personally just keep it private. So right now, you see this one here, example, I bought 50, I didn't really, but example, 50 Litecoin at this particular Satoshi level, which is claiming it's roughly about $11.38. If I would have bought 50 Litecoin at $11.38, I'd be a happy man, because my profit would be about $10,600. So that would be awesome. Shows you the percentage change over here. Positive, green, negative, red. So over here on the Dragon Chain, it's claiming at this price it would have been at 22 cents. So again, this is just an example for you. So this collapse button only comes into play if I have two coins of the same. So let's go ahead and just, for the sake of showing you visually, let's do Litecoin. Let's say I bought, I don't know, 15,000, fine, why not? And Bitcoin, make sure to pick Bitcoin, because that's what that Satoshi level is. If you're putting, like, you can put dollar, but you're going to have to do a conversion every time, because everything's typically in the exchange in Bitcoin. And let's say you forget to come on here one day and put your coin into track. Well, now you're going to have to go back the next day, look at the Satoshi level, go to the charts, figure out the US dollar. I mean, it's a hassle. So I always put in BTC. Go ahead and hit add portfolio. So now you see two. Well, let's just say I'm like, but you know what? I want to see, like, in total how much Litecoin I hold and, like, what the value is of that. So if you look here, it's claiming that I bought Litecoin at $11.38, and then you look down here, it's claiming I bought it at roughly $113. That's because if you look at our the price that we bought it at per unit is different, because I just threw things in there. So if I hit collapse, it now combines the two together, and it tells me two positions. So if I go and buy Litecoin 5 different times, then it'll have a total of 5 positions. And when I expand it, it's going to show Litecoin 5 different purchases at the different prices. It'll show you at that, those particular ones. So this one's claiming a 10.6, 10,600, profit, where this one is a 1.6 million profit. If I collapse it, it's now going to combine the profit, combine the change, and then it's going to average out the cost. Well, the 113.50 is the average, because if you look at this, the majority of my holdings in Litecoin is at a much higher price compared to the $11. So eventually what's going to happen here, and so you can see my portfolio has gone up through the roof, which would be awesome if that was real. So let's say eventually I go in, I'm like, you know what, great, I've got a great profit on Litecoin. I want to sell some of them because I'm making, crazy money. So I'll go in here. I'll go back to this little, pencil edit option. Click sell. Pick the amount I want to sell. So I don't have to sell the total amount, obviously. So let's say 42. You don't have to mess with this because this is automatically pulled at the moment you hit the sell button. So this one says right there, $223.72. If I go back, I'm going to wait now, and I'm going to let this hit to, let's say, 54, 223.54. I'll let it update one more time. Okay, 52. Boom, I hit it. Oh, go to hit sell. There, boom. $223.52. So it grabs it the very second you do it. I'm going to put 40 just for this example, hit sell. And now if you look at this, my portfolio has dropped because that's the total amount that you're holding, because I sold some. I only have 10 left on this particular, that purchase, that moment. If I collapse it, I still have 2 positions open. And then if I go over to sold, now you can see I sold at, the quantity versus times the amount that I sold it at. Or actually, this was the amount that we bought it at that price time frame, because actually we sold it at that price. So if I go back further again, I still have 2 positions. And let's say I completely, I sell the rest of these. I'm like, all right, made my profit, sell them, done. Now that position is completely exited, 100%. If you collapse this, it says 1 position now down here because you've sold out that other position. And if you go over here, now it's saying that 2 positions were closed. And if I expand it, it says 1 closed at this and 1 closed at this. So it's a really good method of tracking, and everything is very, very visual. There are other applications and websites that do the same thing, but they typically don't have this visual graph. What they'll have is just a tracker like this, which is fine. I don't mind it, but I'm a very visual person. I like to see over the last 30 days what's happened. Have I done better? Have I done worse? And yes, you can look at an overall number and say, oh, here are my profit and losses, right up in here. It'll show you. I just personally prefer, that visual side of things with this graph. Last but not least, over here, if you click on the risk analysis, it's going to tell you your, let me just make sure, yeah, okay. It's going to tell you, where if it's risky or not. Unfortunately, I did this bad. Let me see. It's hard to see in here, so let me adjust this real quick, because this is going to make it much easier to see. I'll explain here in a second. Okay. There we go. Okay. So the reason why it was all blue is because I had so many shares tied into Litecoin that it just engulfed everything else. So it's really hard to see. There's a little spot right here, I think. Maybe not. Maybe that's just red in there. So you got unknown, exchange, and wallet. So when it says exposure, it's basically saying that if you're going to do long-term holding on a particular coin, you typically want to have it on a wallet, hardware wallet, desktop wallet, but not an exchange. There's so many factors that could go wrong, even with the wallet. But when you leave it on exchange for long periods of time, the likelihood or the probability of something really going wrong is higher, per se. And I think as time goes on, those exchanges might get safer, but why take the risk? So it's just basically giving you your risk. And this comes down to what you've put in. So if you put in the advanced section and say, let's see, so this one I put on Jack's over here. So advanced, and I said, it was in a wallet and it was in Jack's wallet. So if I put this one, let's see, over here, I put on Bitstamp because that's an exchange. But let's just imagine, let's just say, I want to put this one on Exodus. I'm going to update this. I'm going to go over here. So now it's saying, it doesn't break down the specific wallet here. It just says that it's in a wallet. So now it's basically telling me that my risk is even less now because it's saying that the wallet is a safer place to store your coins. Unknown is just because it's claiming that that's a particular coin that I haven't said if it's on a wallet or if it's on an exchange. Crypto exposure. This is just a breakdown of what your portfolio looks like. So it's 78% of the whole entire portfolio of this particular example is in Litecoin. And then the rest, Walton Coin 21%, Dragon is almost nothing up there, like 0.2%. Liquidity exposure, it's only been on there for 1 minute, so that doesn't really do anything for us in this option. And then volatility exposure, this is just in the last 30 days, how things were volatile. You can go to advanced charting and do all sorts of other things with the chart if you want to zoom in. But I don't really touch this that much because, like I said, I'm just more of just like, I like to see the quick big picture. And then the last part in here, they have an accounting section. So if you really want to dive deep into like for taxes or different things, you can play around in here and try to figure out what you might have to pay in taxes because of your profit and stuff like that. So it every once in a while it will glitch out a little bit. I've noticed sometimes the acquisition cost doesn't totally make a lot of sense, but I do find as a whole this seems to work fairly close enough. And the graph works pretty well, at least to see a very good visual of which way you're moving as a whole for your portfolio. So the downside is, as far as I know, I don't think this one has any, I could be wrong because there's an API down here, but I don't think there's an API tied into the portfolio in an exchange, meaning that if you bought on Bittrex, it wouldn't automatically update on here. You have to manually fill it in every single time. There is, and I'd have to look around, I forgot the name of it off the top of my head, but there is another portfolio out there that costs money that will actually link to the exchanges, certain exchanges, not all of them I believe, with an API, and then every time you purchase something, it automatically updates the portfolio for you. I've never personally used it. This is just a free one. This is the one I typically use. So just kind of want to go over that. Again, this is kind of my foundation series. And I'm going to maybe be trying to drop some of these videos in between coin reviews, and maybe drop some technical analysis videos out there sooner than later also, just to kind of mix it up, just to see if I can get a kind of a new crowd or different crowd and see what people like, since I've been doing kind of the same type of videos for a while now. I'm really hoping the second I shut this video down that my mic and my mouth and visual are synced. Really pray that is because I'm tired tonight. Anyways, bottom line is, hope you guys enjoyed it. Shorter than the last one, so I saved you some time. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Definitely give me a thumbs down if you disliked it. And please let me know why. All feedback, good, bad, whatever, is always appreciated. And have an awesome Valentine's Day, guys. Good night.